Ty Bartell and Anthony Hartwig with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we head over to our friends at Beaver Local with their girls basketball head coach, Mr. Tony Sorge. Coach, how we doing today?
Real good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, Coach. Thank you for joining us. My first question, I always like to start in the realm of practices because that's what's going on currently in the basketball world. How are practices looking for the Beavers?
So far, it's looking good. We've been in the gym for a week and a half now. Started last Monday, but yeah, the players getting their feet wet. We're improving every single day. Just trying to do a little more every day to get better. And so far, practice has been very effective.
When you look at this team and the roster you're putting together, I want you to kind of give us a meet the team segment going through your roster and let us know some of the big names that are going to be going down in Beaver local basketball this year.
Well, we have 4 seniors this year. Peyton Roberts, Cami Starkey, Addie Eels, and Cameron Young. We also have 2 juniors, Callie Sorge, Tori Druschel, and also 2 sophomores that will be on varsity as well, and that's Carson Boyer and Bella McLevy. And that's going to be our main varsity rotation this year. And then we have 7 players as well on JV. That's we have 2 new juniors that came out this year, and so they'll probably get the opportunity to dress varsity as well. And then we have 5 freshmen. So, but with our varsity main 8-player rotation is what we're looking at right now.
When you look at last season, before we start talking about this one, what were some of your takeaways from last year and from what you're returning from last year's team into this year's team? What's kind of the next step for those girls?
Well, yeah, last year was a challenging year for us, no question about that. So, we had last year we had lost 4 2-year starters from the previous year. We also had 2 projected starters tear their ACLs in their fall sport last year. So in addition to the starters we had to replace, we had 2 players we expected to start that weren't able to play last season. So coming back this year, we have 2 returning starters. We have a player who couldn't play last year because of the injury. That's back. She's a senior. And then we have other players that are going to step up. So we have a lot of experience from last year. What we were able to do last year as well is get these girls some good varsity experience as well. So our 2 sophomores coming up and our other junior really were able to get good varsity experience last year. So, we were looking at that last year as a way to grow to prepare also for this year. So we expect them to be able to step in and get the job done for us.
No doubt experience is invaluable too. There's only one thing for experience, and that's experience.
Yes.
Let's talk about the schedule that you guys have put together. We'll start with the conference you play in, obviously a tough one that has you tested every year. Talk about the conference and what you expect out of it this season.
Yeah, there's no question. Our schedule is challenging this year. Our conference is tough. So in the Buckeye 8, this year we have to pick up additional league games. So, we always play. It's broken down into 2 divisions, so we always play our division twice. But now this year, this year we have to add the teams in the other division and play them once this year. So we're adding Union Local this year, Bel Air, St. Clairsville, Martins Ferry is in our division this year. So we're picking them up twice. We haven't played them in a couple years. So we have, we have a challenging Buckeye 8 schedule. So additional games. Now the non-conference games, we had to drop off our schedule. Those were challenging as well. So we're really replacing some good teams with the ones we had to drop off. But we expect it to be a battle in the Buckeye 8 this year. So there's definitely, Indian Creek's always good. Union Local has a good program. Martins Ferry's a tough team. I think every team in there is going to be challenging. Harrison's always a battle as well. So it's definitely going to be a battle in the Buckeye 8 this year.
I think one thing a lot of coaches would agree on, you want to see a little bit of just about everything in your 22 game regular season schedule. You want to experience about everything. When you field the competition that's ahead of the slate for you guys, what do you see that you guys are going to be going up against? What are some different looks that these teams are going to provide?
Well, I think, I know what we faced last year, and what, it was a down year for us, challenging. I expect to see some of the same things this year. So there's going to be a lot of pressing that we're going to face. I think we'll handle a lot better this year and be able to get some of that pressure off of us with the improvements we've made. But yeah, I think we're going to see some pressing. We're going to face some different defenses. Some of these teams play some good zone defenses, but I think we'll face a lot of very good man defense. So we got to be ready for that. It's like I said, we know we play a lot of these teams every year, so we really know what to expect. We just got to be up for the challenge.
We know that leadership is so important, Coach. What are some of the who are some of the players that you're going to be leaning on this year to be those emotional, vocal, and even lead by example type leaders?
I definitely expect the seniors to step up and lead. All four seniors, they've been with me for 4 years now. They really know our system, and they're hungry for some wins. So we've had, again, our season last year was challenging. So they don't want to see that again this year. So they're hungry for some wins, and they're already stepping up and helping lead this team. And they're going to hold each other accountable, but they're also going to support even our younger players and help bring them along and help develop them throughout the season. So I'm putting a lot on the senior players to really step up and lead us this year.
Coach, we always like to talk about the staff you put together as well, because I know you can't do it alone. You need a little bit of help along the season. What's the Beaver staff look like this year?
Yes, absolutely. I have Coach Brad Starkey back. He's been with me 3 years. He's my JV coach, and I've added Coach Misty Mays is an assistant coach this year. Yeah, they do a great job, and they really step up and have not just during the season, but in the off season as well. And I lean a lot on Coach Starkey, and it's him and I have coached now for 3 years together, so he knows the system. We share the same philosophies, so we work very well together. And then also I have a very good junior high staff as well, and I've added a couple of additional coaches in junior high. So Coach Wright, Coach Yost, Coach Rayford, and Coach Gatis. They do a great job for us as well at the junior high level, and that's very important for us to prepare those players to come into the high school.
I love that you brought up your junior high coaches because building a program is so important down there. What can you say about the developmental abilities of the junior high teams and how ready these players are when they get to you as freshmen?
Well, we've really focused on building this program from the ground up. So we focus a lot on the youth, in addition to junior high and high school. So the coaches at the junior high level and the youth level are extremely important to this program. And we continue to try to, some of the less experienced coaches, we continue to try to develop. And then, we've just been lucky to find good coaches for both the junior high and youth. And it's extremely important to use the same system, build upon that each year, and prepare these girls to come into high school. And we feel we have, especially like our 8th grade team this year. They were very successful last year in 7th grade. They were, I believe, 16-2, and won their conference championship. It's a very talented group. We expect our 7th grade to have a pretty good year as well. We see some talent there. We need to continue to develop that, but things are definitely looking up. They're continuing to to teach them more and develop them for when they come into high school. And again, at the youth is even more important. I feel we have some very good coaches at the youth level that are really teaching these kids the game of basketball and help develop them and keeping them interested. And our youth program continues to grow year after year. I mean, it's really taken off. We have this year over 70 kids in our youth program. That's very exciting for us.
Can't build a strong house without a foundation, right, Coach?
Right.
And you talk about this this team, and you talk about your experience with basketball, Coach. It goes right into the theme of my question this year for all head coaches, and it goes back to the love of the game of basketball. It's what keeps us coming back each and every year, no matter what our role is in the sport. It's always that love of the game that keeps us coming back. Where'd that love of the game of basketball start for you? Do you have an earliest memory, a pinpoint moment, a time frame where you fell in love with the sport?
Well, I've always loved basketball since I was a kid, and it's just, as a kid, I played different sports, tried different sports, but at the end of the day, basketball was the sport that I was really passionate about, and that's the one I stuck with, and I remember, back in the day, I'd sit there and watch, the Lakers and the Celtics with my dad, and just always had a love for the game growing up, and it's never changed. So, I'd always wanted to get into coaching, and it's just, I love teaching the game of basketball to these kids. I love seeing them continue to grow and develop, and some of these kids also who share a passion for the game. At the end of the day, we're here to teach these kids. It's not about us; it's about the kids. So at the end of the day, it's it's just great to be involved with the kids, help them grow, not just as players, but as people as well. But they share the passion for the game as well. It just makes it that much more interesting, that much more fun.
Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today and giving us a solid preview of Beaver local girls basketball. We can't wait to see what you put on the floor and talk to you again real soon.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.